Hey guys, Jengar here. Welcome to today's episode of Combat Report, in which I will be going through the footage of this lag video that I made back in the day. And we're going through the footage, and I will tell you exactly what I'm doing, as that is what the Combat Report is about. Me commentating on my own flying and hopefully giving you some insight as to why I'm doing stuff. Now, we have been climbing. This Lagg is a plane that is a jack of all trades, can do everything reasonably well, is quite decent at things as jack of all trades come. Some of them do nothing well, and some of them do everything reasonably well, but and that is the case for this one. What is for sure though is that this plane does not excel in any particular skill. It's an alright plane that does everything alright. It's sturdy, it's reliable, it has a small shooting beam, so that is something to get used to in the Soviet planes. Everything is in the nose, very concentrated firepower. It can be very nice. And yeah, so we've been climbing so far, and we have a Spitfire on our right and a P-40 on our left. Now I'm just waiting. I'm not making a choice yet. We're seeing the Spitfire diving to the plane underneath me, the LA-5. Not very wise of him, because that puts him underneath me, and I now have the high grounds easily. He can come back up a little bit, but not as much as he used to be. Now there is two bombers there. There's one bomber with two guns, forward-facing guns, so we have to be careful of that one. The P-40, I don't know what he's doing exactly. He was almost on my altitude. He dove down a little bit. Maybe he was worried that I was focusing on him or something, and he chose to, search glamour somewhere else, glory. So we have 3 Spitfires here that I want to focus on, help my allies here. The P-40, I will keep an eye on him as we go, but I will not be focusing on him. There's also a very maneuverable plane from our side coming his way, so we'll be focusing on the Spitfires and see what we can do here. Hopefully get one out of the sky fairly quickly. We roll over the top here, try to get a shot, but we can't. Then we get confronted with this plane. We do get a hit in, but we don't get him, and I'm going back into the vertical to loop over and see if I can get one of these Spitfires. Now the top one is coming down, but I think I can get a better shot on this 5B here. We do get a shot, but again, just a hit, unfortunately. And we're going back into a loop again. Now these guys are focused all over the place, so I can actually make these loops, and I felt comfortable doing it, as none of them seemed to be focused on me, which was a good thing, because as looping goes, these Spitfires can do a pretty amazing job, these early Spitfires. Now this one is coming up again, and that is actually an easy shot for me to get my first kill on this one. We are turning immediately, scanning what is below me. There's 2 Spitfires still there. So we are going to choose the moment here. We've got another Spitfire incoming, so I'm actually waiting now. This is the reason why you sometimes have to do at least a 180, but hopefully more often a 360 scan around you to see what's coming. This guy decides to dive down on the first plane though. This is very unwise of him. He came in, he had probably more speed than me and was on my altitude. He should have focused on me as the highest plane there. He chose to dive down there, and which gave me the opportunity to again be the lurker here and watch these engagements unfold for me to dive on something. So I'm looping over here, I'm taking my time to come down just to see what happens to get the best shot. Now there's 2 guys coming up here, I can only focus on one. We shoot his wing off, and in this plane, as you see right here, there is compression, so you have to be careful in the dive. That goes for a lot of Soviet planes. So I throttled completely down to minimize the compression there and make sure that I would not get into the red line and all that jazz. We got back, and that Spitfire was destroyed. Now we were looking for other targets as this bomber came back. Now this is that bomber that has offensive guns, and you need to be careful. So I'm picking up speed here. He came within 2 kilometers, and I decided to turn around already to see what he would do. He doesn't do anything though, so I'm trying to turn in here, try to get a shot. I'm going down here to pick up some speed, bring some speed in, but I decided he's going too fast. I don't have that much ammo in the Soviet plane, so I'm trying to be trigger patient here and save my ammo for a better shot. looking at the B-18 there, but he's far away. I'm not going for that yet. I'm going for the climbing fighters that we see there. There's 2 dots coming straight from the airfield there, and I wanted to go in on that. There's another B-18 as well, and after all, he came by me, and here we got shot by the AA. Now this was in the time before the ground AA in the middle of the map was nerfed in the last patch, or the patch before that, I don't quite remember. But I had to go back to base, of course, immediately with this situation here. And oh yeah, that's so funny, man. 3 kilometers up, and that AA, well, we all know it, right? So I'm damaged. I'm going back to the airfield, and I've got a B-18 coming straight at me here. I'm gonna take some risk here because, well, I've got ammo. I am damaged, and you know, who cares? Sometimes you have to take a risk, and I thought, well, I'm right at my airfield here. I can take that risk, and I took it, and I got him. I did get extra damage though, so there is that. But let's see what this second B-18 will do. Sometimes you gotta take risk for the nicer results. Sometimes, not always. I do get a crit and a hit there, and roll over again. You're picking up that speed, going after this B-18, and hopefully we can get a few more shots in on him to get that gill. Yeah, gills. It's not fish, man. My God, sometimes, man. Sometimes that English, huh? We get a few more hits, but we run out of ammo here, unfortunately, and I decide to dive down. Of course, we can't do anything else. Plane is heavily damaged, and we repair it, get back into the match, and we've got a Corsair here fighting an I-153. Now that thing is very maneuverable. We'll win any dogfight with the F4U, unless it's a high speed fight where the F4U has the advantage. But this seemed like a turn fight. My colleague there decides to turn off though. I don't know why. Maybe it was out of ammo or something, but I'm gliding in here with plenty of speed. And this Corsair is damaged, so I'm just taking my shots there. And getting a crit there. I've got still 0 throttle here. He's so slow, he's so damaged, so I don't want to overshoot too quickly. So keep the throttle at 0. Now I'm throttling up as I shoot him on fire and going back into the vertical, trying to get some more altitude as we move on to the next target. But that Corsair, man, he was basically mortally damaged by the I-153, and it was an easy kill for me, as he had to turn off. Now that B-18 was the one we critted before, and he didn't quite make it back to his airfield, so we got that kill as well. And we can continue to climb a little bit and see what's up. Here we have that bomber again, and that's the guy that can actually shoot back. So when that thing is up on altitude, you always have to be at least slightly careful. There's a few bombers that can give you a lot of trouble with offensive guns at this battle rating. The B-18s from Swedish tree and this MB-174 from the French tree are some of those planes that could be, you know, as you like to fly bombers, or maybe not, but they can be very fun. The bombers with the offensive guns. Helldivers as well, by the way. But unfortunately, with our timer, we end up there with a timer that runs out, unfortunately. Now, we have an XP50 here in the next match. We climbed as usual, and we're trying to get this XP50 out of the way. Very good plane on higher altitudes. Not my preferred altitude in this plane here, but we're trying to engage anyway. See what we can do. We're rolling over. It's a little bit of a rolling scissors here. We do get a hit. We're going a little bit into the vertical, as he's still very dangerous, but I want to get a little bit of separation so I can pull the nose in for a shot. Didn't quite get enough there, as he goes and keeps rolling. So I will just go back up again here, and my throttle is a little bit down there, as I don't want to overshoot him. He seems to be damaged. And here we go down a little bit, trying to pick up some speed here. 100% throttle again. And he's after our BF-109. There's a B-18 here as well. A very good rear gunner he has, but we're going to focus on the XP-50 here. We're turning in again, and he's turning to the left, so I'm gonna focus on getting a shot there, but he rolls over and drops a little bit more altitude to get away from me. We're rolling over. I'm taking my time here. As you see, I'm just doing little swings in my roll to see what he's doing. I'm not in a rush here, and I'm also compressing here, so gotta be careful. I don't want to overshoot again. Have the throttle at 0 at the moment, as I'm still in the dive. Trying to get a shot here. Difficult. I am gaining not too much, that's why I'm throttling back up, as he is not damaged enough to lose that much speed like with the Corsair before. So we're throttling up completely. This is the most difficult angle you can have on a plane. 700, 800 meters, 600 meters, trying to get a shot in on that very small profile can be very frustrating, especially when somebody's retreating to his or her airfield, as this guy is trying to do at the moment. But in the end, I think he got a little bit more damage on the engine in here, because he did slow down more. And I'm just not shooting here, I'm just letting him maneuver and losing all his speed and putting himself into a position where he cannot do much anymore. I'm passing him here very closely, going up into the vertical. Combat flaps up to keep the loop over the top as small as possible, as he's stalling out here right in front of my guns. This should be a very good shot, but he's actually managed to turn a little bit, roll over a little bit more to get out of my guns here. And this guy is still doing his best to outmaneuver me. Now we're putting shots in here, only getting a hit again. Unfortunately, we're almost running out of ammo, so we've got to be careful. Rolling, turning full elevator as well, and here we come in for a shot. We missed the shot. We don't have that much ammo anymore, so he's doing a very good job of avoiding my shots and doing whatever he can with a damaged plane in this situation. Very difficult, especially with the Russian planes on the lower altitudes where they are at their best. It's difficult with this plane, but he is losing power. We're shooting him here with a little bit of fire on the left engine, and that was also good that we got that fire, because otherwise I would have to roll off here and go back to the airfield because I was out of ammo. Now we did get the ammo, we did get back to the airfield, we repaired, and we got new ammo. Now here we got two planes coming straight at me, and I'm just flying towards the opposite side of my airfield. Now I would never go for airfield camping, but this is what I call a tactical reset. I think that is acceptable personally, to use the objects in the map for a tactical reset when you're in a severe disadvantage. Now this Typhoon and the P-40 were coming straight at me with full speed in a straight line. They had high energy, both of them, and I had nothing. I just came out of the airfield. So would I have gone straight for them? I would probably have died, because there was no advantage for me to take that engagement at that time. Now this is a very wise lesson also from the Red Baron. He always said, I only survived and got this many kills because whenever I had an engagement that was not in my advantage, I would run away. So there is no cowardice in running away from an engagement that is not in your advantage. It is actually a very wise thing to do, and many of the top aces would tell you this thing. Don't take an engagement that is not in your advantage. Now we came back at a different time with these two guys, and we got the engagement at more favorable terms for me, when I was in a much better energy advantage. Now thank God this is two planes that are boom and zoomer, more than maneuvering planes, and my plane can actually outmaneuver both of these planes fairly reasonably. I am above them, they are with two, so I just have to take the one that makes the first mistake. Now the Typhoon is going too fast for me still, so I am deciding here to go for the P-40 first, try to give him a shot, and we do get a hit in. Now, not enough at the moment. We've got the Typhoon coming in. He's 1.5 kilometers away, so I'm moving over the top of the P40, make sure that he's not a danger. Then we have the Typhoon. I'm turning in for him, and he misses his shots. Looking where the P40 is again, and how the Typhoon overshoots me, and I see that we can get a few shots into the Typhoon before the P40 can actually turn around. He was still very much in his turn and at a very low energy state, so I'm just taking the gamble here that the P40 is far enough removed from me that he cannot damage me too much. And we do get the kill here on the Typhoon, diving down here, put the nose down, getting the speed up, and see where the P40 ended up. Now he's almost at a kilometer. He was at 900 meters, and my gamble paid off there. Sometimes you can make these calculated gambles. Now I am a slightly better climber than the P40, so I'm gonna go a little bit up into the vertical. I also have more energy on me, more speed, so I decided I could do that. I was looking what he was doing, and I wanted to go for a energy trap here. He did turn, but he did not come up for me, so we didn't have to do that. Now I can just turn with him, which I am fairly confident in this plane that I can easily do. And you see here how much pull I have on this P40 here. We do get a crit on him. I'm going back into the vertical and make a high yo-yo here to come back down on him for a final killing shot. Hopefully we still have plenty of ammo for that job, as we see him being fairly knocked out here, very low energy state. And that is it on this second match. 3 kills on the second match, very nice. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye. If you're new here, make sure to hit the subscribe button, become part of this community. If you are already a subscriber, don't forget to like the video, do leave me a comment, and if you really feel like helping out today, make sure to share the video with your friends and let them know about the channel.